Well, there it is, the Kohl Center, where months of hard work on the hard court will culminate in some March basketball. Good morning. Welcome into the studio here at WIAA in Wausau for the 2025 Boys Basketball Bracket Reveal Show. I'm Brad Hansen, joined by WBCA Hall of Famer Mark Miller and Craig Harden. Gentlemen, thank you guys for being here this morning.
Absolutely.
Thanks for having us.
Really appreciate it. We've got Keegan Hewitt on our crew as well. He'll join us in a little bit. Okay, we've got a lot to get through in the next hour or so. 486 teams start their postseason journey this week. Of course, we all know it ends a little less than a month from now. It's crazy, hard to think. At the Kohl Center, 5 teams are going to hoist that gold ball. So let's get right into it, guys. What do you think?
Sounds good.
All right, we're going to kick off things in Division 5, Sectional 1A. Turtle Lake is your top seed. They'll face the winner of Eau Claire Emmanuel Lutheran, and Luck, 5th-seeded Webster, will host number 12 Northwood, while number 4 Birchwood draws 13th-seeded Le Coudray. On the other side of the bracket, it's New Auburn hosting Siren in the 4-13 matchup. Solon Springs is your 6th seed. They get Frederick. 7th-seeded Clayton will host Prairie Farm, and Spring Valley earns the 2 seed. They're going to host South Shore. Now on to Division 5, Sectional 2B. It's Mellon who gets the 1 seed here. They'll host Butternut. Bruce and Lake Holcomb match up in the 8-9 game. Flambeau gets the 5 seed, and they host Winter. 4-seeded Rib Lake will take on 13th-seeded Thorpe. Owen Withee is your 3 seed. They're going to get Mercer. Prentice will host Athens in the 6-11 game. Number 7 Drummond gets Gilman, and Bayfield is your 2 seed. They will host Cornell's. So guys, we didn't bring you in here to watch me talk about brackets. We brought you in to talk basketball. Anything stand out so far?
Well, I think Spring Valley as a 2 seed is going to be a team to watch. They play in the Dunn St. Croix, which is a little bigger conference than most of the Division 5 schools. So they play a good schedule. They have good players. They got a big guy, Mason Wolf, who's 6'7", probably 240 or so. And Cade Stasek in the backcourt is an experienced guard, so I think Spring Valley is a team to keep an eye on.
Anything stand out to you, Craig?
We haven't got to them yet, but teams I'm looking forward to is a Royal team. We'll get there. We'll see what their rank would be or their seeding. But when you look at Division 5 basketball, or any Division 5 or 4, it comes down to those sectional games.
Sure.
Right?
Yep.
When we get who can make it to those sectional games, who has the aptitude to have other teams play their style. Can you will other teams to play your style? That's how you can be successful in March.
All right, we've got a lot more brackets to get to, so let's head out to the other side of the bracket, Division 5, Sectional 2A. That's Almond Bancroft looking for another run to Madison. They get the 1 seed and a date with Elko. Rosholt and Bowler clash in the 8-9 matchup. 5th-seeded Wabeno Leona gets number 12 Newman Catholic, and number 4 White Lake will take on number 13 Goodman Pembine. On the other side, it's Tigerton getting the 3 seed. They'll take on Wild Rose. Northland Lutheran is the 6 seed. They'll face Gresham. 7th-seeded 3 Lakes plays host to Tri-County, and Pacelli earns the 2 seed. They'll take on Marion. And in Sectional 2B, we've got Sheboygan Lutheran looking for their first state trip since 2019. They get the 1 seed, and they'll host Stockbridge. Then it's Green Bay NEW Lutheran and Lena in the 8-9 matchup. Gillett is your 5 seed. They'll host Hilbert, and Sheboygan Christian is your 4 seed. They'll get Gibraltar. St. Thomas Aquinas earns the 3 seed. They'll host Oneida Nation. Elkhart Lake Glenbeulah will host Wasaki in the 6-11 matchup. Then it's 7th-seeded Suring take on Florence, and Niagara gets the 2 seed. They'll host Lourdes Academy. So last year, it was Almond Bancroft who emerged from this side of the bracket. Who do you guys have emerging this year?
Well, I think Almond's got a chance. They got Aiden Phillips. He's 6'7", and he's a monster in the paint, as we saw last year. They're looking probably at a game against Pacelli again.
Sure.
And they played twice in the conference. And Almond's actually beat him twice this year. So I'm sure Pacelli would like one more shot at him. But I think those 2 teams, and then, Sheboygan Lutheran, I had a chance to watch them earlier in the year, and they beat Oostburg badly on their home court. They're a good team. So that's a team to keep an eye on as well.
Awesome. I think we got Royal coming up here.
We do, but for this bracket, I like Sheboygan Lutheran. I'm going to go Sam Decker, old school.
There you go.
A good Wisconsin reference. Mario Boylan, a guy who's averaging 15 points per game.
Sure.
If they can play good basketball, continue to have him lead them, good things could be for this team going in the future.
Absolutely. All right, fun doesn't stop there. We're going to head to Sectional 3A of Division 5. Cochran Fountain City earns the top seed. They'll host the winner of Alma Pepin and Pittsville, who square off in the 8-9 matchup. Blair Taylor gets the 5 seed. They'll they'll host Plum City Elmwood, and 4-seeded Loyal takes on Greenwood. To the other side, number 3 Alma Center Lincoln hosts Augusta. The 6-seed Port Edwards will take on Gilmanton Independence, and Assumption gets the 7-seed. Shout out to my guy Josh Paltz there. They'll host New Lisbon. The winner gets defending state champs Columbus Catholic, the 2-seed. And here's what Sectional 3B looks like. Top seeded Potosi gets Wanoak Center. It's Hillsboro hosting Seneca in the 8-9 matchup. River Ridge is your 5-seed. They'll take on Lafarge Youth Initiative. 4-seeded North Crawford will host Weston. Highland earns the 3-seed. They'll host Wazeeka Steuben. Ithaca is your 6-seed. They get Cashville. Kickapoo will host DeSoto in the 7-10 matchup. And Royal, there they are. They get the 2-seed. They're going to host Brookwood. So we just saw Royal. They're one of the top teams in the state. Undefeated this year. They look like they're on the warpath. Tell me a little bit about this team and their chances to get to Madison this year.
They got a senior guard Carter. He's leading this team. When you have a guard that's a senior that can control the tempo of the game, in March, anytime you want success, you got to have heady guards. So you can be a sophomore, but if you're playing like a senior, you're an extension of the coach on the floor. So if you can get a point guard that can control the game, get other people involved, and they haven't lost a game. As a coach, I would be a kind of worried because has your team been tested when it's time to be tested? And so we'll see in this tournament.
Yeah, you think they have a shot?
Coach on the floor is interesting because his dad is the coach.
There you go.
Scott up and on. Of course, Carter, his son, is a good player. They also have Landon Lipke, who is a big guy. You know, he's 6'7", and he's strong and can score in the post. And not a lot of D5 schools have a 6'7" kid in the post, so that makes them doubly tough. I think this is the deepest sectional in D5. There's a lot of good teams. You talk about Highland and River Ridge and Potosi and Royal. North Crawford, just a lot of really good teams and several conference champions. So it's going to be really, really competitive. I think on paper you might pick Royal, but you know, it's a tough road to get to Madison for this sectional.
Yeah, it'll be a fun one to watch for sure. All right, time to wrap up Division 5 here. We're going to start with sectional 4A. Southwestern is your top seed. They host Rio. Then it's Albany hosting Schulzburg in the 8-9 matchup. Fall River is your 5 seed. They get Benton. And Barneveld is the 4 seed. They'll host Blackhawk. On the other side, it's Argyle with the 3 seed. They'll host St. Ambrose. 6-seeded Belmont will host Judah. Pecatonica is your 7 seed. They'll get Monticello. And last year's state runner-up, Abundant Life Christian, earns the 2 seed. They'll take on Madison Country Day. And finally, sectional 4B, Cambria Friesland gets the top spot here. They'll host Eastbrook Academy. Then it's Faith Christian taking on Johnson Creek in the 8-9 matchup. 5th-seeded Palmyra Eagle gets Catholic Central, and it's Chesterton in the 4 seed. They'll host Princeton Green Lake. Wayland Academy is your 3 seed. They'll take on University Lake Trinity Academy. Central Wisconsin Christian is the 6 seed. They'll get Williams Bay. Randolph takes the 7 seed and will host Hustisford. And finally, Oakfield will earn the 2 seed. They'll host Holy Redeemer. All right, so that gets us through Division 5. We've got 4 more to go. We've got a lot of brackets to bring to you. We're also going to hear from the Bonduelle Bears, who were just 1 win away from Madison a year ago, how they're using that to fuel a trip to Madison this year when we come back.